Hello, our beautiful souls. You got Joanne and Elizabeth here with World's Cup of Joe. Awaken your soul. If you found this channel, my love, for your twin flame connection, your beautiful journey, is the path to your twin flame. So I want you to know, if you found this channel, it means that you are in the vibrational energy of soul to be able to manifest this channel. This channel is hard to take in if you are not ready for balanced union energy. And so if you listen to this channel or have found this channel, this is a sign from your beautiful soul that you are ready. You are so ready to balance your twin flame. And why do I say that so confidently? It's because me and Elizabeth are both in permanent relating experiences with our twin flames. We harness and master this union energy that we sustain with our twin flames day in and day out. It's an energy that we can spot when we work with clients that are about to shift. And within 24 to 48 hours, as soon as they text or message us, as soon as they message us and letting us know, hey, I ran into my person. Hey, a third party just contacted me about my person. Hey, I saw my person at the store. And it's not a surprise. Me and Elizabeth are actually laughing with almost like, thank you, soul, for this validation and confirmation of the energy that just plays out. And so we want to share with all of you, even though it's hard to take in these truths, we want you to know you're in the right place. And we don't just hit record unless we are in the vibrational energy of soul, like high vibing, my beautiful souls. We actually will not record. We will refuse to do any doing if we are not being first. So we want you to know that the energy you receive when you watch any of our videos, my love, any of our videos, is the highest vibrational energy we can give and share to all of you, so you can also emulate the highest vibrational energy in every single moment of your days, whether it is balancing your twin flame or it's balancing everyday freaking life. So we want you to know that this is the right channel for you to help you get through all of your days of being in soul. All right, without further ado, Elizabeth has an amazing download. You guys know the drill. You're all part of it. We know this is going to help you in your journey because it's so needed when it comes to balancing your connection. So go ahead, my love.
Okay, so if you guys have seen other videos, we have mentioned that Alan Watts is amazing. He is more of like a mid-century spiritual teacher. And I was listening to one of his videos this morning, and it said something that was so simplistic, but so profound. And not only does it apply to our spiritual journeys, you can apply it to your twin flame connection. Why is that? Because your twin flame connection is a part of your spiritual journey. So let me read you the quote that he said, and then let's get deep with it. So here's the quote. The way to become one with the universe is to trust it. Now let's sort of switch this up a little to apply it to the journey. The way to become one with your soul is to trust it. So back up a little bit. The way to become one with the universe is to trust it. What does this mean? This means learning how to surrender and stop judging what's coming into your 3D dynamics, your 3D illusion. Start being in a place of peace with whatever comes, because the universe has got you. The moment you can have something come into your experience where you're like, you know what, the mind doesn't really like that, but I know my soul's got me, so I'm gonna not judge the way this is happening, the way this is unfolding, because I know that ultimately my soul is taking care of me. And then watch what happens. Watch what happens. You've got to be able to trust. You've got to be able to trust the energy. You've got to be able to trust your soul. You've got to be able to trust God. You've got to be able to trust the oneness of all that you are, which is the universe. You are the universe, my loves. So now let's apply this on a more micro level to your connection, to your twin flame, which is you. You have to be able to be one with your soul by trusting it. What does this mean? So often we are getting clients that are calling us, and it's like they understand the logic behind the energetic rules of this journey, but the mind is so hesitant to apply them, to be able to release, to be able to surrender, to be able to fully trust that soul will make a way. If you trust your soul, you trust the energy, and you can surrender into that, you can be one with your soul without the physical being there, and just learn how to trust that your soul is guiding you, is making waves for you, then you will soon be one with your soul, your twin flame, in the physical as well as in the 5D. You're learning how to apply the energy of the 5D into the 3D illusion that is the mind's reality all around it. And you're learning how to combine those two. If you can't trust the energy of this connection, because energy doesn't lie, energy is not biased, you'll hear us say that all the time. Energy is very simple. Align with the energy, the vibration of your soul, and your soul will come back. Your soul will be drawn in. Your soul will magnetize. That's the reality of this connection. And it plays out the same exact way. Get into mind, your person's going to pull. Joanne and I watch it all the time with our own twin flames in permanent relating experiences. We can see it instantaneous. So what do we do when we see that? We pull back the energy. So if the mind wants to kick off and push a little bit, we can watch our person right in front of us pull immediately from that energy. And what do? They are our roadmap essentially to soul, right? They are not the treasure at the end. The treasure at the end is the peace that you experience by aligning with soul, but they are the roadmap on how to get to that alignment, on how to ascend to that alignment. They are the roadmap because they're always showing us when we are in mind versus when we are in soul. When we are in mind, they pull away. And there's our cue. Okay, I've got to align back to this energy. Not for them, because the treasure, again, is the alignment. It is the peace. It is the oneness. It is the unity consciousness. It is the awakening. It is the oneness with God, which is why we are put here in this place right now to be awakened. Our souls knew we were ready to expand the mass consciousness by our awakening. We have been chosen. And I know this sounds sort of preachy, and I don't mean it to be, but it is that spectacular that here in this time-space reality, we are the few that understand we are an extension of God's source energy. We are awakened to that we are not our minds. We are awakened to the energy of this universe. And so when you can align, when you can be one, and you can trust that the 5D is really what matters, the energy of love. We are here to vibrate, magnify God's energy of love. We don't have to love others, right? Loving others is actually an emotion. We are here to be love. There's a distinct difference. Loving someone is conditional because it's an emotion. Being love is a state of being. It's the state of God. It is the state of soul. We are here to learn in all of our encounters and all of our interactions how to be one with this energy of love, which again is this alignment of soul. And when we can do that, you can have your twin flame all day, every day, and they will never leave your side, because you will be the one person in their life that will always keep them coming in through that energetic draw. No one else will be able to magnetize them and keep them wanting more and more and more, like the energy that you are radiating off of you, which is the same energy of them. It's why a soulmate will never be the same. It is not two separate energies. It is one being in two separate bodies, but it is one common energy. And so that, my love, I feel like I got really deep there. Like I was freaking, I don't know, flying for a second. I hope I got to take you on that journey with me. Joanne, what are your thoughts, my love?
Holy freaking moly, love. I was like, I was totally flying with you. Okay, so when you were sharing, I swear, every moment you were talking, like I was This is how you know the energy speaks the same truth, because I was saying the same freaking things while you were talking, my love. I was like repeating what you were saying without even talking, because the answers lies from within, and it's the same answer over and over and over and over and over again. And the energy is timeless. This energy of soul, energy of God, the energy of love that you are, the energy of love that you are being, right? You're being asked to be, which has no opposite. Being is purely the energy of soul, the energy of God, God's love, unconditional love, right? It's an energy that has no opposite. It's non-duality. And so when you get into the state of pure being, there's nothing to control. That's why your quote is so effing beautiful, my love, because that's what wants to control. It's mine. Mine wants to control this journey. Mine wants to like hold on to everything it understands, right? And so it wants to control the connection on logic. And we saw a beautiful quote from one of our beautiful soul family. Oh my gosh, I've been listening to other coaches that are telling me to visualize. I've been listening to other coaches that are telling me to use tarot. I've been listening to other coaches that are telling me to use mind in my connection. And then they found us. And now they're ready to be. So that's the biggest difference between any other channels you're going to find, my love. We want you to use your resonance to be soul. And being soul isn't logic. So when you start getting a checklist and start writing down that checklist as if you're doing work, right? Because there's no doing in aligning with soul. There's no doing in being with your twin flame. You guys know that. Almost every one of our videos tells you guys to be. Almost every one of our videos tells you to stop doing. It tells you to stop contacting your person. It tells you to stop trying to get their attention. It tells you to stop trying to message them, trying to run into them, trying to look at their social media. It literally tells you the opposite of what you are doing when it comes to this connection. Because there's no other connection like this one. Every single other connections are conditional, are processing through mind. And this one here is one that you've never done before, because we didn't even know we were not our mind. We thought we were our thoughts. So when our thoughts said do this, we went with it. When our thoughts told us to push, to push, to push, to push, to push, to do, we did, and they pulled. And that's why we started having a dark night, right? It was like, what the heck? Every time I did, it worked with other people. Every time I manipulated, every time I used my emotions or thoughts and logic, the person on the other side reciprocates, talks to me, interacts with me. They're not running. I've never met anybody that's running from me, from interacting with them, from basic logic, basic emotions, basic thoughts. And that's why this connection is cray-cray. Literally, it's so cray-cray because it's the opposite of what we were taught. We were taught and conditioned to do in all of our interactions. And this one connection is your one shared soul that is asking you to be soul, to surrender to soul, to just be in this here and now. And so that is like the ultimate faith, the ultimate surrender. When you are sharing love, when you are surrendered, when you are trusting the universe, God, your soul, you're giving it all to this moment now. That's why it's so hard, because the mind is stuck in the past or future. There's no surrender in past and future because it's mind. There is no soul in mind because mind is the opposite of soul. There's fear, right? My twin flame is never going to contact me. My twin flame isn't going to remember me. My twin flame will never be with me. Or my twin flame is amazing, or they're a jerk, right? There's opposites. Well, in soul, it just is. You're being, you're surrendered. You are in the moment you're in the moment that's unfolding in front of you, with pure divine trust that the universe is working its way in the whatever way it's supposed to, right? This whole connection is beyond anything we can ever even imagine. If I was able to imagine it, I wouldn't have had a dark night. I wouldn't have had an awakening. I wouldn't be waking up every freaking moment. I'm still ascending. We all are. Because I have so much stuff that mind still wants to do. And I'm trying to be with it. Even now, still in a balanced, permanent relating experience, I still have interactions with my person where I see him pull. And so we give you tough love. We're always going to give you the truth. We're always going to remind you to be in soul in this channel, because we want you to be with your twin flame. We want you to be able to be in the place where you can balance this connection if you so choose. We also want you to be in a state where you can emulate the same energy that we balance daily. And so why do we know that our twin flame pulls? Well, my twin flame not only does the pull phase, but he doesn't want to be around me. And this is somebody who is always around me because I'm always in soul. Like that's the secret recipe, my love. I love being in soul. I really, really, really love being in soul. Not for him. It's never for him. It's for me. And then when I forget, because I was conditioned to be in mind my whole life, my person will say these things that will bring me right back into soul. He'll remind me, okay, so my person is, again, always around me all the time. And so when I get in mind, when I get in emotions, when I get into this state of hormones and I forget who I am, he pulls physically in my space where he will not be around me. And I know it's beyond him because as soon as I get back into soul, he's right next to me again. And so he'll say things that really put me right into soul in like an instant moment, right? He'll remind me when I'm doing too much. He'll remind me when the energy isn't right. He'll remind me when I'm pushing. He doesn't say it in awakened terms, but he will share it in a way where he's telling me through our one shared energy how I am being. So what I want to ask all of you is, where is your energy now? Because a lot of times when we're talking to clients, the first thing they want to talk about is the past or the future. They talk about when they were with their person, or they talk about when they will be with their person. And what we're trying to get you to is this moment here. Because this is the only moment that you're going to reach your person. Right here, right now. This is the moment that your person can contact you. This is the moment where they can run into you. This is the moment where your person can meet you, because your person is your soul. Your person isn't going to be found in any shape or form through mind. It's all energetic and it's purely in soul. So what does that look like? It looks like you are surrendered to this very exact moment. And so why do we always ask you, what is your energy like? What does that even mean? What is your energy like? What is your energy at? Where is your energy now? And those questions are tying you right into this present moment. You're really feeling from within and asking yourself, where am I at now? And we're asking you to ground yourself in this moment now by being in the moment you're in now. And that is surrendered, my love. You cannot fully trust the universe, God, your soul, when you're too busy like doubting it or waiting for something. That's like such a common one, where so many beautiful souls are trying to find ways to distract themselves from this present moment. And it's almost like I'm going to keep getting busy until my person comes back. And it's like, no, that's still mind. That's still looking at a futuristic date that isn't in the here and now. Because to surrender in this here and now, you have to trust this moment now and knowing that this moment is enough. Because soul is already one. Soul is one now. So you looking for your person in a futuristic date in a future situation means you're still seeing your person in separation consciousness. And where we are trying to send you to, get you to, is this moment here. This really, really beautiful moment here where we all awaken to ourselves as soul, to be able to feel into our present moments, to be able to feel this moment that's unfolding now so delicately that you're being asked, you're being forced to awaken, to recognize this moment now. It's like God literally opened your eyes, right? Like forced you to awaken your eyes up into this moment now, where you can feel this moment now, where you can hear, see, touch, taste this present moment now. And so when you were talking, love, I saw like a flow of a river passing through a stream. And I saw this meme, and I have to share it because this is what it sounds like when you're not trusting your twin flame journey, your connection, trusting what this connection really fully is trying to show you. I was just seeing a river stream, right? And it's flowing so like fast, and there's nothing that's going to stop it. And that's the universe. That's God. That's your soul. It's moving without any stopping. It's like surrendered, right? And so when you watch your river, there's nothing that's going to stop it. And so there's this meme where it has the guy raking like the river. And it says, this is you trying to control the universe. And he's like trying to rake the river, trying to make it stop moving. And that's literally what this journey is. No matter how much you can try to control it and move it around and try to manipulate it, there's nothing that's going to stop the river from moving forward. There's nothing that's going to stop you from aligning with soul. There's nothing that needs to be done for your soul, right? So you can put down the rake. You can put down that part of you that doesn't know how to trust. Because it's either you're in this connection or not. It really, truly is that simple. Because we all know this is unlike any other connection. And there's so many signs in this connection that are universal. There's just universal signs that are occurring in this crazy phenomenon from so many beautiful souls that are being asked to awaken in this journey, or it's beyond us because our soul chose this journey, all of us. It's forcing us to wake up to ourselves. That's what we're being asked to wake up to. And we are reminding you to surrender and trust in the divine of your connection, to surrender and trust in your journey, to really surrender and trust so that you can be, no matter what it looks like, you're being asked to be this beautiful energy that vibrates in and out of you and everyone around you, which is pure love. And it's hard to surrender to this because the mind gets activated like crazy. We know it does. We know that it wants you to do, and it's a lot more fun to do because you feel like you're in control. But doesn't that visualization just sound crazy? Like seeing somebody trying to rake the river so that it can stop moving around? That's what all of you guys are doing when you're looking at your twin flame connection and thinking you gotta go do a tarot reading. And it's so crazy how so many beautiful souls have shifted so much, and then they let us know, hey, I had to do a tarot reading. And it's like,
yeah, the addictive energy just kicks up and the mind just kicks up.
Yeah. And it's like, what? And they'll tell us too, what could I have possibly even like thought that the tarot reading was going to do for me? I knew that wasn't going to do anything, but for some reason I couldn't wake up to it. Right. And it's like that. It's like the mind is like, well, let me just find out what they're doing. Let me just find out if I can see what they're doing or what they're thinking, what they're feeling. If I can just make sure that they're not with this person, or it's doing. Let me just make sure I can rake the freaking river so I can make sure I can control it and manipulate it and move it in the direction that I want it to go. It sounds crazy. It's like we want to mess with what God created, right? God created this river that flows. Well, God created this connection of your one shared soul, and it's asking you to be in soul. It's asking you to be. It's asking you to be in soul so that your energy does not create the polarities of push. It is simply asking you to be and recognize who you are as soul so that you can surrender to this journey, so that you can trust, so that you don't need to get a freaking tarot reading, my love. You don't need to get a tarot reading. I'm serious. You don't need to get a tarot reading. And I know I'm saying this so like confidently, but we help so many beautiful souls and we see them shift in and out of unity consciousness and then back to separation consciousness. And then they ask, well, how did I get there? Well, it's because it's hard to sustain soul day in and day out when you're not conscious that you're in mind. And I'm going to repeat that again because it's pretty deep. When you're in mind, you're staying in mind. So unless you can stay conscious in the addictive energy, you're going to be in that addictive energy. And the only way to get out through that addictive energy is to transmute it or be right into that massive cray-cray addictive energy where you just want to push, where you send a crazy text to your person and then you bring yourself 10 times back into pushing again, or you have a third party that your person tries to contact you with, and out of nowhere you're in addictive energy and you text that third party when you were doing so well and you were trying to trust and surrender. And I guess what I really want to understand, love, is because we love you guys so much. We want you to feel this union energy. We want you to be in this magnetic state. Why is it so hard to trust in this journey if we know it so accurately?
You know, it's because the subconscious is what we reside in 99% of the time, right? We are residing in mind. We are residing in the thought patterns, and that's all fear. So it's too hard for most to really allow themselves to be conscious, because as soon as the fears kick in, is like deviating from that fear is different than the mode that they've operated in their entire life. So I just want to share with something. There's this energetic sensation, like you guys can really feel it. When you start practicing this, you can feel it. There is a significant sensation of energy when you really start telling the mind you're going to trust soul. So let me sort of outline this for you. Let me let you guys feel into this, because when you start practicing this, you're going to start feeling it, and then you're going to try to aim for that energetic sensation each time you put it into practice. So I've mentioned before that I'm selling my house, and there's been a lot of bumps along the way. It's been a short time, but there's been a lot of bumps, and there's been a lot of things that have caused me to feel fear, the mind to feel fear. And I've had to stop, and I've had to become conscious when the mind does that, because the natural inclination is to see the thoughts and to identify as them and to start conversing with them and going down into the ground with them, essentially. And so when the fear's been kicking in, I've had to stop and say, wait a minute, I trust it's going to work out because I trust my soul and I am the creator. And as long as I'm continuing to create from this low vibration, that's what I'm going to end up seeing. So I need to work on becoming neutral. And then I really, really put an effort into doing that. And there's something really magical about saying, I trust my soul has got this. And then there's almost like you, like I said, you can almost feel the energy lift up out of you. The fear energy, it almost just like hoofs out of you. And suddenly it's like a calm. And when you can feel into that, you know that you're on the right path, because we weren't created to be in fear. I mean, that's what we do, but we were created to be love. And when we can remind ourselves, wait a minute, that's not who I am. I'm not that fear. It's a story. And really feel into the energetic release of the fears. And you, like I said, you can start working on this, and you can start feeling the shifts that happen when you do this and you practice this and you implement it in your everyday life.
Yeah, there's something really like magical that happens but the thing that really is like confusing is like, why is it that so many can find themselves just pushing? It's almost like there's this like a place where you have to either wake up to it or keep being asleep to it. Does that make sense? It's like, because I can hear what you're saying and I can do it. But what I'm saying is I can hear other beautiful souls who are awakening.
Let's be real. This is work. It is not like this is when I say and I have to stop myself and consciously do it.
Yeah.
You have to then consciously feel what's coming up. And that's the part most people don't like. And they sort of stop there because they want to step it back down. They don't want to feel into the worry and the fears that are coming up. So instead they shove it back down and they think about something else. This is forcing you to be conscious of what is coming up and feel that, because you have to feel that ickiness in order to release that ickiness. But if you can do that, if you can really, really focus on doing this internal work, that's what I'm saying, you will feel it being released. And each time is like, wow, that just got lighter. It just got easier. It just got quicker. It doesn't sit with you as long when you can work with it and feel it. You have to feel it for it to be released. That's the reality. You felt it when you shoved it down. You have to feel it for it to come out.
And that's why it's easier to go find tarot. That's why it's easier to leak on a third party. That's why it's easier to go back to the addictive energy, because
all of those things are external because you're still searching for an answer outside of yourself.
You're not able to trust the journey enough to surrender to it. You still want to keep raking the river through mind. You want to control, you want to understand, you want to process through logic and doing, when you still are in the place of surrendering. And that's why when you are surrendering and you say, hey, you know what, my soul got me, there is that energetic release where it just feels peaceful. Where the things that you're stuffing down through more addictive energy, through more push, when you start releasing it, you start to be in this flow state with the universe. You start to be guided so easily, where you can be in the state of surrender in your journey. And that's why when I said, you really trust in your journey so much, because your journey is soul. So it's like, well, I already know what mine's going to do. Mine's going to keep me in addictive energy. Mine's going to keep having me look for my person in separation consciousness. While soul allows me to trust, allows me to have faith, and allows me to be in this here and now. And that's what it is. It's because the mind does not want you to surrender. The mind doesn't want you to be with your twin flame. Because if you're with your twin flame, you're not in mind anymore. For you to be with your twin flame, you got to be in soul, right? You got to be in surrendered state. You got to trust your soul. You have to be able to completely surrender all the doing to your soul and trust that your soul's figuring everything out for you. No matter what's happening in the external, it's pure surrendered in this very moment that soul is unfolding for you, by you, and only you as soul. Man, this got so deep. I feel like we're both flying, and we hope you guys have been flying with us, because this energy right here, this energetic state of surrender, there's nothing that can top it, and there's nothing that can stop you from flying in your journey, my love. Once you're in, you just keep feeling into more of it, more and more and more and more, because ascension doesn't end. Ascension is never ending, right? You keep opening it up and opening it up and opening it up to more, and then you're going to feel more of the icky stuff when they come up, and then you sit with it, you watch it, you transmute it to soul, and you continue to trust and have faith in your journey. And your journey shows you the way. It guides you. You might have hiccups, because hiccups do happen. They're totally normal. And if you did do a tarot reading, if you did push, you did contact your person, We want you to know you can get right back into soul. That's why we always ask you, where's your energy right now? You could push 2 minutes ago, but where's your energy right now? Because all of the beautiful souls we talk to, when their person contacts them, they completely forgot you pushed. They go back into the energy right now in that surrendered state and that pure trust and faith in your soul. And that's when they come in, and that's when they are present with you in this moment now. We love you, beautiful souls. We love each and every one of you. We're asking each and every one of you to trust, surrender, and have faith in your journey, because you're all being asked to be. Love you. Bye, love.
Bye, love.